Hello, good morning, welcome to Somerset News Network. Now, from time to time we've been looking at the COVID-19 situation. Now we now know that COVID-19 is SARS-CoV-2 virus. The labs in America were looking at trying to find a vaccine for it. When Trump came to power 4 years ago, he closed the funding down. So what did the scientists do? The deep state, I don't know if it's CIA or whoever, they moved it to China and gave it to a lab in China, in Wuhan. The Wuhan lab was built by the French. It was a World Health Organization security lab. Level 5, whatever level 5 is, I don't know. But they gave them the virus. We now find out that the Chinese army, military, has now taken over that facility. Now, was the virus let out by accident? Did somebody catch the virus within the laboratory and they went out, I don't know, socialising, having a pint or whatever, and it got out that way? Or was it deliberately leaked to the population to see what would happen? And it's gone viral literally all over the world. Answer, don't know. Speculation, they knew what was going on, if it was an accident or not, but they covered it up. We think it was way before November that it leaked. We think too many people after Christmas were getting the virus. I've had reports of people that said, oh, I think I had the virus in January or February, but I just thought it was an ordinary flu. The problem is we don't know. Because nobody was tested, nobody thought anybody would have it. We didn't know about this here until March, when people started getting really ill and started going to hospital. Then we had the shutdown. Yes, we got a great big spike in March and April, and it's now tailed off. But they now say we're getting a second spike. I'm hoping that March and April was the second spike, and that we didn't know that we had the COVID-19 virus over last winter, December, January, February. It's possible, but I don't know. You know, you've got to be honest about these things. There's so much speculation, and I don't really want to speculate. I'm only saying this is my theory. This is what I think. I could be wrong. Now, bouncing around Facebook, I was given this document. Ian, you got to do a video on this, I said, nah, if it's other people doing it, you know, I don't really want to meddle. But this one is important. Operation Moonshot. You're not going to believe this one. Well, if you're watching this channel, you more than are going to believe it. There is a government paper written as a think tank. It's a PowerPoint presentation. And this is something that the government is considering. Another conspiracy theory, I hear you shout. Well, where does this paper come from? It comes from the BMJ, the British Medical Council. So I wouldn't think they were into conspiracy theorists. They've got to sort of have some idea of what's going on out there. Now, this is something that has been considered. It's not government policy. This is just something that's in the pipeline. When you're working for a council, like I did in the 80s, or if you're in the government, when I was in the civil service, they would produce documents to say what would happen if. and you had blueprints, plans, ideas, and they would sit on the shelf and do nothing. I remember the end of John Major. We were producing plans, and they were going in the file, and the file would just be put on the shelf. John Major came to power, and they would look through these files. Oh, that's a good idea. We'll have that one. We'll have that one. We'll have that one. Then they became Labour policy. And I expect the same's happening now with Boris. I expect he's picking stuff up that Gordon Brown done, or that Mrs May done, or even Cameron had done. You know, it's like pick a mix policies. You know, the civil service produce them all the time. Now, this one is a doozy. And this one, if it comes into effect, is going to cost us lots of money. Operation Moonshot. The idea, the plan, if you with what's happening now out there, you not going to believe this is actually true. Let me get it up on the screen here a second. Now, what they're doing. What is Operation Moonshot? Right? Refers to a government plan to deliver mass population testing of COVID-19 in early 2021. The whole of the UK population will be tested each week. You know, just think about the logistics needed to do that and how much it's going to cost the government. They are planning to do 10 million tests a day. They're struggling to do 200,000 tests at the moment. Tests that they're doing are getting lost. They're being thrown in the bin because they haven't been tested at the laboratory quick enough. They can't test now. How are they going to test the whole population every week? Oh, come on. I don't think this is a runner, but this is what the document says. This is what the government have been advised to do. Now, it's the cost of it. Well, let's have a look at the cost of it. Oh, the cost, here we are. That's going to be a cheap one, this one. Calculated to be 100 billion. 100 billion. We could stay in the EU for 3 years for that. It's just unbelievable. And this will come out of the NHS budget. You know, we are going to have to pay for this at the end of the day. You know, and it goes on, mind. There's more to this than you realise. Let me just see if we can find the list of... Now then. Strategic partners. These are the people that they're... And two names that come out. You've got Boots and Sainsbury's. DHL, that's the delivery company. And then you've got G4S and Serco. Now, G4S and Serco are running the immigrants that are coming into the country and putting them up into hotels. G4S are running the prisons. And I wouldn't trust them to do anything. G4S are the people that did the security for the Olympics in 2012. Remember what a fiasco that was. They had to end up bringing in the army. I wouldn't have G4S or Serco anywhere near anything I was doing. Where are they going to get the workforce from? Oh, they're going to use university students and the unemployed. You can't make this up. This is brilliant. You know? They are going to they want to test everybody. It's just unbelievable. And who's produced this PowerPoint? a Boston consulting group. And it's been leaked to the British Medical Journal. There will be a Moonshot headquarters and a mission headquarters. You know, what are the Americans getting involved with us for? Can't we sort this out ourselves? You know, they're saying, oh, other countries are thinking of doing this. China and South Korea. China and South Korea have been testing and got it sorted out already. They don't need to do this. This is power and control at a horrendous rate. And where is this going to lead? This document suggests that you will be tested. If then everybody is vaccinated, you will have an app on your mobile phone or a lanyard you will wear with a coded message that tells you that you've been vaccinated. Then you can go into shops, you can go to work, and if you haven't got the code that you've been vaccinated, you will not be allowed to enter businesses, and you may be refused hospital treatment. I am hoping the government has thrown this out. I hope this is just one of those crazy ideas you get. You know, you have to get crazy ideas to make the good ideas sound good, if you see what I mean. Anyway, Operation Moonshot, which is about all it is the most draconian testing program this country will have ever seen if it happens. If they can't run the railway system with what we got, why are we building HS2? If we can't test with what we got now, how are we going to manage to test 10 million people? You know, it's just unbelievable. You know, where are you going to go and get tested? Are you going to have to drive? You know, is your local test centre going to be all sewn up and you're going to have to drive to another town? You know, people are driving 80 to 100 miles now to get tested to go to work in the NHS. Nurses and doctors. Now, this is non-starter. I don't believe they're ever going to do this. But I'm warning you it's out there, and I'm warning you this is one of the things they're thinking of. Ian, Somerset News Network, signing off. And I got another chat with Betty later. I'm hoping that we'll be able to catch up on what's happening with Epstein. Absolutely fascinating court case. And, you know, well, Epstein committed suicide, but the ramifications of what they were doing and the people that they were involved with, it's all the elite around the world. You know, and Maxwell, she was in on it as well. She's waiting to go for a court case. The papers of the court case have been released. The victims, if you go on YouTube, you'll find loads of victims, have told their stories about being trafficked and used as sex slaves. You know, I'm hoping Betty can shed some light on this. Anyway, Somerset News Network signing off, and stay safe.